In this video, we are going to talk about dividend stock Warren Buffett is buying. So before starting this video, please like this video, and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. After posting below average returns last year, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway stock price has soared this year, outperforming the broader market index. We failed to meet neither target last year. Berkshire made no significant acquisitions, and operating earnings dropped by 9%. However, by maintaining earnings and repurchasing about 5% of its stock, the company's intrinsic per-share value increased, he went on to say, shares. Despite the poor stock results, Buffett's underlying stock portfolio, estimated at about $269 billion at the end of the fourth quarter, likely performed well due to his large Apple position. Last year, Warren Buffett made some significant adjustments to his portfolio. He exited his positions in several banking stocks and sold large stakes in 4 U.S. airline firms. Despite selling off stakes in these dividend securities, Berkshire's top 10 stock positions, which account for 87% of the 13F portfolio, pay out generous dividends. Here's a list of the dividend stock Warren Buffett is buying. Let's start. Number 10. The Bank of New York Mellon Corporation, NYSE, BK. At the start of this year, Berkshire Hathaway owned a $72 million stake in the Bank of New York Mellon Corporation, NYSE, BK, accounting for 1.14% of the company's total portfolio. Since the beginning of the year, shares of Bank of New York Mellon have done exceptionally well, owing to optimism about the economy and the rollout of the coronavirus vaccine. Despite a huge share price surge, the firm provides a respectable dividend yield of 2.61%. At the end of December, the Bank of New York Mellon Corporation was in 47 hedge funds portfolios, down from the all-time high of 58. The world's largest hedge funds have recently reduced their activity in BK. At the end of the third quarter, our report included 48 hedge funds with BK positions. Number 9. Chevron Corporation, NYSE, CVX. During the December quarter, Warren Buffett initiated a new position in Chevron Corp., NYSE, CVX, making it his 9th largest stock holding. With strengthening fundamentals for the oil price, the investment in the oil giant appears to be going in the right direction. Chevron's stock price has risen by 25% so far this year. In 2021, the company anticipates solid cash flows and profits, which will result in higher dividend returns for shareholders. Chevron currently has a 4.88% dividend yield, which it has maintained even though oil prices were in negative territory last year. At the end of December, Chevron Corporation was in the portfolios of 50 hedge funds. This figure has reached an all-time high of 56. In recent months, hedge funds have become more interested in CVX. At the end of the third quarter, our report included 43 hedge funds with CVX positions. Number 8. U.S. Bancorp, NYSE, USB. U.S. Bancorp, USB, $44.28, is the country's 5th largest bank by assets and the largest regional bank in the United States. It's also one of Berkshire Hathaway's oldest stocks, with the Oracle of Omaha initiating his place in the first quarter of 2006. Buffett is notoriously quiet about U.S. Bancorp and seldom speaks about it. He reduced the position by 0.6%, or 823,834 shares. This comes after a 0.2% cut in 2020. Buffett's decision to scrape a small portion of the USB stake stands in stark contrast to what he's done with so many of Berkshire's other bank stocks. And it's not like USB has always been a good investment. Over the past 1, 3, 5, 10, and 15 years, the regional lender's annualized total return has trailed the broader market by a large margin. It has also lagged behind the banking sector over the last 1, 3, and 5 years. Number 7. Moody's Corporation, NYSE, MCO. Since 2001, Warren Buffett has owned shares of Moody's Corporation, NYSE, MCO. Over the last 2 decades, Berkshire has reaped significant dividends and share price gains from its investment in the integrated risk management business. In the last 10 years, Moody's stock has risen 780%, outperforming the wider market index in 2021. Because of its high dividend yield, Warren Buffett considers it one of the top 10 dividend stocks to buy. Moody's has increased dividends for the past 18 years in a row, with a 5-year dividend growth rate of around 10%. Number 6. Verizon Communications, NYSE, VZ. Verizon, VZ, $54.15. The Dow Jones Industrial Average's only telecommunications firm, is a favorite of long-term dividend investors everywhere. That's why it fits in so well with Berkshire Hathaway's holdings. Berkshire and Buffett launched a new investment in Verizon, purchasing nearly 146.7 million shares worth $8.69 billion. The telco accounts for 3.2% of Berkshire's overall equity portfolio valuation in one fell swoop. As a result of the transaction, Buffett has become Verizon's fourth largest shareholder. Only Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street Global Advisors own more than 3.5% of the company. Bulls like Verizon because of its growth potential in the age of 5G networking, as well as its defensive characteristics and consistent income stream. We think the market prefers Verizon's 5G plan and simplified tail because of its secure dividend yield and low leverage, say Raymond James equity research analysts. Whether worthy or shrinking, consumers' internet and mobile plans might be the last thing they're willing to give up when things get tough. Number 5. The Kraft Heinz Company, NASDAQ, KHC. Berkshire Hathaway invested in the Kraft Heinz Company, NASDAQ, KHC, for the first time in 2015. The Consumer Staples Corporation pays out a 4% dividend yield. For the past 2 years, the firm has cut its dividend and now pays a quarterly dividend of 40 cents per share. Despite this, Warren Buffett considers it to be one of the best dividend stocks to buy. Because Berkshire is part of a management group, we must account for our Kraft Heinz holding, 325,442,152 shares, in the list of 10 common stock investments that were our highest in market value at year-end, using the equity form. Berkshire holds the Kraft Heinz holding at a GAAP value of $13.3 billion on its balance sheet, which reflects Berkshire's share of Kraft Heinz's audited net worth as of December 31, 2020. Number 4. American Express Company, NYSE, AXP. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway owns the financial services firm American Express Co., NYSE, AXP. At the end of the most recent period, the company owned a $18.33 billion stake in AXP. AXP stock has risen 18% this year, bringing its 10-year returns to 218%. The firm is also known for providing high cash returns. It currently pays a 43 cents per share quarterly dividend. American Express has increased dividends for the past 2 years in a row, with a 10-year average dividend growth rate of 9.10%. Breton Fund reported on a few stocks, including American Express, in one of their investor letters. Number 3. The Coca-Cola Company, NYSE, Co. Coca-Cola, NYSE, Co., a consumer staples corporation, is a dividend king, having increased dividends for 58 consecutive years. Berkshire Hathaway was the first company to implement a rollco in 2001. At the end of the most recent year, the stock holding accounted for 8.13% of the total portfolio. Currently, the company pays a quarterly dividend of 42 cents per share, yielding over 3.20%. The number of long hedge fund bets has recently risen by 2. At the end of the fourth quarter of 2020, the Coca-Cola Company was in the portfolios of 62 hedge funds. This figure has reached an all-time high of 62. This means that the number of bullish hedge fund positions in this stock has reached an all-time high. Number 2. Bank of America Corporation, NYSE, BAC. According to Warren Buffett, the banking behemoth Bank of America Corporation, NYSE, BAC, is among the best dividend stocks to buy. This is due to the bank's history of providing significant cash returns to shareholders. In the 5 years prior to the pandemic, the corporation had raised dividends at a high double-digit rate. The company's dividend yield is actually around 2%. In the last 6 months, Good Haven Capital Management, a focused portfolio investment management company, purchased Bank of America stock. Number 1. Apple Inc., NASDAQ, AAPL. Buffett has stated that he does not consider Apple, AAPL, $133.19, to be a stock. Rather, Buffett considers it Berkshire's third company, and given the stake size, those aren't hollow terms. Even the Oracle of Omaha, on the other hand, has to hold a high-profile investment like Apple in place. Buffett reduced his Apple holdings by 6% in the fourth quarter, owing to the company's continued growth. After all, the iPhone maker's stock increased by 15% in the fourth quarter of 2020. Apple still accounts for nearly 44% of Berkshire's overall portfolio value, despite losing 57.2 million shares. In early 2016, Warren Buffett took his first slice, and Apple has since become Berkshire Hathaway's single largest possession. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.